In addition to the modelling tools that we've been using in AutoCAD to create solid shapes, we can actually create our own from a 2D shape. For this we can use a 2D rectangle and select it and use this tool here called Extrude. And Extrude will take a 2D form and turn it into a solid. And this creates exactly the same object as the box tool in this example. The thing to note is that the 2D form that you extrude has to be a closed polyline loop in order for this to work correctly. So for example, if I go to the polyline tool and draw an irregular shape, making sure that I close the loop, go to the extrude tool, in this case I'm going to select it and press enter, and now you can see I'm extruding that out into a solid form. I can either choose to give it a height value at this point, or I can click on the height of another object and it will take on the same value. And if I go over to the conceptual view here, you can see that these are all indeed solid objects. And this opens up a world of possibilities because you can now create any shape that you want and extrude it out into a solid. However, there's something that you really need to be aware of, and that is the fact that if you don't create a closed polyline, then it won't behave in quite the same way as you think. So here I have a polyline that isn't closed, and if I go to extrude this, you will see that in fact it looks slightly different. It has this sort of mesh pattern, and that's because it is a surface, not a solid. And surfaces behave slightly differently, not only when you come to do 3D printing, but also when you come to use some of these solid editing tools later on. So a surface like this hasn't got any 3D depth, it hasn't got any mass. It's like a thin, in fact it's thinner than a piece of paper in real form. Now you can actually modify this surface and turn it into a solid by using this tool here, which is called Thicken. I'm going to click on the Thicken tool, select my object and press enter and give it some kind of thickness, let's say 10, and now you can see that this object has got some mass. It's now a solid. Go to conceptual view, you can see that it now looks and behaves exactly like all the others.